Whole sports all plays. Whole sports all plays. Whole sports all plays. 365, we making a plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. Hitting the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. Whole sports all plays.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Gonzo and the Judge Sports Talk. Friday night, September 30th, 2022. A lot to talk about. Got some good college football games on tonight. Got a bunch of college football games tomorrow. NFL stuff going on. Full slate of NFL games coming up on Sunday. Have the Thursday night game from last night to talk about. It's a lot going on. But joining me as always, the Judge. How's it going, Judge?
What's up, Gonzo? What's good, everyone? What a do? It is Friday night, and we're here for another episode. Thank you guys for tuning in. Without you guys, none of this is possible. I'm glad to be back, Gonzo. And let's do what we do best. Let's do what we do well, and let's talk sports, man. We got a lot to talk about. We got a lot to unpack with this Tua injury. We got a lot of NFL games this weekend. We got college football. So, there's a full slate. We got so much going on this weekend.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot going on. Got baseball just a few days from ending the season. Season ends on Wednesday the 5th. Then they take Thursday the 6th off. And next Friday, 7 days from now on the 7th, they'll be starting the playoffs for the 2022 season. So that's always a great time once you get to the baseball playoffs. But no, last night we had a good Thursday night football game. Bengals against the Dolphins. Bengals end up pulling out a victory. Bengals offensive line finally played pretty good and kept Joe Burrow standing upright, and he was able to complete some passes down the field, get Jamar Chase and Higgins involved. And I just think that the Dolphins defense, you could tell, got tired there in the fourth quarter. And then Bengals were able to get some big plays. But Bengals offensive line, I thought, looked a lot better last night. Of course, you had the Tua injury in the first half on a sack, which I don't know. I think the injury was more done last week than it was last night on that play. But anyway, what was your thoughts on the Thursday night's game?
Well, I think I would be remiss if I didn't talk about the Tua Tagovailoa injury because that stole the narrative of the game, right? Much was focused on his injury after he went down towards the end of the first half, and it just didn't look good. That was an ugly scene. It was cringe-worthy. It was hard to sit and watch that. And my question is, Chris, where was the outrage, last Monday or last Sunday when this guy went down and he was cleared to come back and play? And I think, we create a culture that encourages these players to get back on the field. We rush these players back on the field. And I think we tend to forget that these players are human beings at the end of the day.
I don't think it's that. We don't rush them back on the field. That's themselves and the doctors that are standing on the sideline. The problem here is the doctor, a couple doctors didn't do their job.
Yeah. Right. Right.
That's what caused this whole situation is because, you have a team doctor, but there's also a doctor that's not affiliated with the NFL at all. Standing on the sideline.
And they're professionals, right? They're trained medical professionals. And they should have known better to rush him back to the field. But I feel like a number of people need to be held accountable for this. And I don't think the medical professionals are the only ones that should be held accountable. I think the Dolphins as an organization should be held accountable. I think Mike McDaniel should be held accountable. Look, this is a human being who has two eyes, okay? He saw his quarterback collapse on Sunday night. He shouldn't have never returned to that game Sunday night. That was the red flag right there. So I think that the Dolphins should be held accountable for this. And I think they should be severely punished for this, because they had just as much say as the medical professionals to say no. The medical professionals to say, no, this should not have happened. The bottom line is this. Tua should not have been playing on Thursday night. He should not have been out there. And that was more evident. That was more telling as we watched the game. I think last night, a lot of people, including myself, feared for this man's life, because it could have been a lot worse than what it was. And like I said, I felt like once he was transported to the hospital, he should have stayed in the hospital, because it's quite clear to me that the Dolphins are not going to protect this guy. They're going to throw him back.
You can't put this all on the Dolphins, though, man. This goes on the medical staff, and it goes on the NFL. You can put it on the Dolphins some. I don't put it on Mike McDaniels, because when you're coaching a game, when you're a head coach, you got everything else to worry about. So if your training staff comes up and tell you, hey, he's cleared, he's good to go, you're going to put him in the game because you think he's good, he's cleared to go, or he's cleared, he's good to go. So I'm not going to
himself is going to tell you he's good to go because he's a competitor.
But the thing is, with the new rules, that takes what Tua has to say out of it. That's what these new rules are supposed to do, save the player from themselves. So that's what I'm saying. Now, I'm not going to say the Dolphins are clearly on fault, because I want to see the investigation and see if it comes out that the Dolphins had anything to do with it. But I think it's more the team doctor, and somebody paid this other doctor off or something, gotten this other doctor's ear. Maybe it was the team doctor gotten this independent doctor's ear or something, because I don't see how else this happens. When they were trying to sell it as a back, nobody believed that it was a back. So that's what bothers me more than anything, is that if you got medical professionals that are not affiliated with the team, they're not going to do their job. And that's where the NFL, I think, it has to be held accountable, because they're the ones that hire these independent medical professionals, and they're the ones that are outright in charge of everything. So the NFL is going to have to figure out something to be able to enforce these rules better, to try to protect these players. But man, it don't matter what you do. Don't get me wrong. He should never went back on the field.
He shouldn't have.
But in a game of football, there's going to be injuries, and there's going to be times that we see stuff like we did last night, and it sucks. Don't ever want to see nobody go through that, but that's just part of the game. No matter how much you try to change the rules, there's still going to be. Football's a violent sport. So they're trying to make it safer, but there's going to get to a point where you're not going to be able to make it safer, and you're still going to get some of these big hits and some of these injuries, and that's where these guys, when they sign up for this, they know it's dangerous, but they're getting well compensated for it being dangerous, and you got to decide, you know what I mean? But you also are putting your faith in that these medical professionals on the sideline are going to protect you. Well, for some reason, we won't know until probably more of the investigation comes out, if we ever know. But for some reason, the ball got dropped last Sunday, and then putting them back out there on 4 days and never putting them in the concussion protocol, which is what's crazy to me. He was never put in the concussion protocol, so he didn't have to pass none of those tests. So he was just, because if he'd have been put in the concussion protocol, he'd have never played last night, because you see players having trouble come back after a week, let alone 4 days.
Well, he should. That's the thing. He should have been a no-go. And when you look at the policy, what does it say on the no-go policy?
But whose fault's that?
Medical staff.
Because you also have people.
Had just as much, but the Dolphins had just as much say. They could have said, "No, you're not going out there." I don't care what the medical staff say. I don't care what these medical professionals say. And I know we're going to listen to the medical professionals because they have the credentials They have the education in the medical profession, and they usually know best, right? But obviously they cleared him too soon, because we saw last week on Sunday that this was a guy who returned. He collapsed a few times. He didn't look like himself. He looked very disoriented. He looked very confused, and he didn't look like the same Tua Tagovailoa, I always butcher his name, excuse me, that we are accustomed to seeing. And I feel like sometimes these NFL teams and these medical professionals as well prioritize the game over safety. And common sense in the end should have prevailed, over anything else in this situation. The bottom line is this: under no circumstances should he have played Thursday night's game. I think
the thing is, Jonathan, it's easy for me and you to say that, but we're not there. We don't know why he looked like during the week after between Sunday and Thursday. I know he was questionable, but they were saying with them saying it was questionable because of a back. He never had to pass no protocol test. What I'm saying.
It was ruled a back injury.
Yeah,
but it was obvious that he was concussed.
Yeah, I mean, I think he was concussed too. Believe me, I do. But unless it comes out that the Dolphins ownership or somebody like that had something to do with it, to me, it's hard to put blame on the Dolphins.
But Chris, we also know this too. If you suffer from a concussion, you can easily get another concussion. All it takes is one more hit. And
I know. I've had concussions before. I know how all that shit works.
Hey, and after that hit, I had the chills. I can tell you that it was unbearable to watch that, because his hands, they crooked. Like you could see that his hands crooked. And I had never seen anything like that before. And I read Robert Griffin III's post, and he said he had never seen anyone's head lock like that. I mean, that was just a devastating moment.
It's neurological. I've had my hands lock up before.
And you know what? That was a very scary moment for all of us to see. I mean, I damn near turned off my TV. I struggled to sit there and watch that. It was very, very hard. I know a few of our podcasting buddies were at the game who live in Cincinnati. I will give them a shout out on the show. It was Cam Chancellor and my other guy, sports dude, sports guy, Judo. I think I'm pronouncing the name correctly. They were at the game last night, and they said they saw it firsthand, and they said it was bad. It was just an ugly.
It was bad. It was bad.
Right.
There ain't no way around it, but
definitely bad. Right. And I mean, I feel for Tua, man. I wish him a speedy recovery, but it would be an epic failure if the Dolphins and the medical staff decide to bring this man back, because I feel like they're rushing him back, and they need to we need to take these safety protocols more seriously. I mean, this is not a joke. You're playing with somebody's life. So, I mean, we got to understand that someone's life is more valuable than a game.
Yeah, but I know. But my thing is that's why they got the stuff in place. And I mean, the NFL is going to get a bad rap on this because this happened. But if you think about it, since they put the rules in place, we haven't seen this happen very often at all, if at all.
Right.
So this is where something has happened. So now we got to see how the NFL handles it.
Right.
Because the NFL has done a good job here in recent years to improve the safety and enforcing the rules. So we can't. I know this was bad last night because it was. But we can't act like this is something that happens every weekend in the NFL either. Right. Not anymore.
I feel you.
Years ago it used to. Hell, Drew Brees even admitted he used to lie. about being concussed, not being concussed, so he could play in the game, keep playing. So yeah, it used to, but with these new rules, you don't see it happening all the time like it used to. Last night was more of an outlier since we've had these rules, but they're going to have to figure out a way to make sure this doesn't happen again. And the bad thing is it's going to be hard because you're dealing with humans, and no matter how much you screen somebody, you're still going to be somebody that gets in a position that is going to, that's going to do shit that they shouldn't do.
Right.
And so that's what's going to make it hard because, you have to have these doctors down there to enforce the rule, but you're putting a lot of faith in them that they're going to do their job. And I think for the most part, it's gotten a hell of a lot better than what it has been. But last night was scary. It gave the game a whole different vibe in the second half, for sure. But yeah, it was scary. And then another thing that bothered me, this don't even have really a whole lot to do with too, is that you had a lot of these people saying that I can't remember the guy's name. I think it's Tufoa or something like that. The guy that made the tackle. A lot of people saying that he should be suspended or he should be fined for the hit. That was a clean hit. He didn't do nothing illegal. It was just a result. It was just a result that made it look. It was just a result that made it look bad. He didn't do nothing. He didn't do nothing wrong. I think if you watched that and you thought that was a dirty hit or that he should be fined or suspended, you're reacting more to the outcome of it than what the hit was.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because it was don't get me wrong. It was a hard hit, but it was clean. It wasn't nothing dirty about it. And honestly, Tua hit the ground a lot harder on last Sunday than what he did last night. I think last night was just more of he was it wasn't recovered because he was out there and shouldn't have been. But I think that had more to do with last night. I think if Sunday wouldn't have happened, last night wouldn't have been that last night's tackle wouldn't have been a big deal at all.
Right. But here's the thing too, Chris. Why didn't we talk about this until he got injured last night?
Oh, no, we talked. Whoa. Right. We talked about it last week.
Yeah, but we didn't mention much about it until he got injured.
Oh, if you go watch on the afternoon show from Monday to all the way to.
I know you guys did, but I'm talking about the mainstream media. I'm talking about
on Monday there was a lot of people talking about it. On Monday there was, but after that you didn't hear a whole lot about it.
Yeah, I didn't hear a whole lot about it.
On Monday you heard
people
talk. You heard a lot of people talking about it on Monday.
That's my question though. Why didn't you keep that same energy after Sunday?
Because because when they come out and say it's a back, you're covering all other sports like they are. You can't just stay on one thing, and because here's the thing, Jonathan. If this wouldn't have happened last night, nobody would be complaining that they didn't cover it enough last week either. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's a weird situation.
It's a damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Because you know what I mean? If they would have talked about it all week and then nothing happened from it, we'd been all there overreacting.
My question is just
people would have said they'd been overreacting. And if they don't talk about it, what people think's enough, and then something happens, then people. So either way, you're going to have people complain.
Either way, yeah. It's devastating.
What's up, Gonzo? Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm doing pretty good. How you doing, buddy?
What's going on, man? What's going on? Thanks for tuning in.
What's up, Glenn? Yeah, I saw you were trying to win you some Colts tickets.
Man, I love all our viewers. I appreciate you guys so much, man. Thank you guys for supporting us. Much love to you all.
What's up, Damien? Damien said he almost wanted to cry when he saw it. Said it happened to Russell Wilson back.
It was really tough.
Happened to Russell Wilson back in 2018 against the Falcons. But no, it was like I said, it was crazy. It was weird to watch, but man, it's going to be hard because things like that could happen at any time. That's just the nature of a football game.
Yeah, this is a violent sport, and that reminds us right there of how violent the sport is. in the end. But I think the NFL, along with these medical professionals and the teams themselves, should have an inkling of how dangerous the sport can be, and we need to really pay attention to these players and try to do our best to keep these guys safe, because health is first. You got to do a better job protecting these players, and I feel like Tua's injury was mishandled.
Yeah, but as a whole, the league's doing a far better job of protecting players than what it used to be. They're gotten better, and like I said, this becomes more of the outlier than the norm, and that's what we want. That's what we need. Now we just got to get this where it's not an outlier. But like I said, when you got humans involved, shady shit's going to happen, and it sucks. But I do think the NFL has done a good job of trying to get these rules out there. And for the most part, enforcing the rules, but it sucks. There's dumb people out there that do stupid shit, and it just takes a couple people to make everybody look bad, and that's what sucks about it. Damien says sorry, the injury from Sunday didn't look as bad as it did last night. No, what I'm saying is the hits. He hit the ground harder. Sunday. His head bounced off the turf harder on Sunday than it did last night. Damien said he got body slammed last night. I wasn't a body slam. A body slam, a dude picks you up off the ground and slams you. The dude had him by the legs.
No, that was just a hard tackle.
He whipped him over, but there wasn't nothing.
That was just a hard tackle, and it just so happened that Tua's head forcefully slammed to the ground.
Yeah, but I think if you watch it, it looked like his head hit the ground. His head like whip-flashed more on Sunday than it did last night.
Right.
Last night, his head was more in one spot, where Sunday you could see his head come up and down. But I still think, Damien, if you don't have what happened on Sunday, I don't think that hit last night would have took him out of the game. I really don't. But when you're not right, I mean, it usually takes at least 2 weeks to come back from a concussion most times. Sometimes it just depends. I mean, it depends on how bad you're concussed too, but. Like I know I've had a concussion before now. I was out for about 2.5 weeks before I could even get back to practicing.
I mean, this could have been worse for Tua. This could have ended his career.
Yeah. No, I've seen it. I watched a guy here at Ball State. You might have heard of him. His name was Dante Love. He was one of the best receivers in the country. He was going to be one of the top picks. This is probably back around maybe 2008. It was when Nate Davis and everybody played for Ball State, and Ball State went undefeated to going into the bowl game, or lost like one game that year. But Dante Love, like I said, top NFL prospect, catches a ball. He's running down the sideline, and he kind of leaned forward, and him and this other guy just collided, helmet to helmet. Both of them, crowns of their helmet, they both put their head down and just boom. Messed up the dude's neck, dude. They took him off in a stretcher. Dude was
never the same, huh?
Well, no, he was almost paralyzed, and he never played football again.
Ooh.
But and like I said, I remember watching that live. I was there live at the stadium watching it, and I was like, man, this dude just lost millions of dollars. Not only did his life changed forever because physically and mentally and everything else, but he just lost millions of dollars that he was going to make. And dude, he was tough. He was one of them guys. Like he went to Ball State University, which is a smaller school, but he was up there and like up for that award for National Receiver of the Year and all that. I mean, he was one of the top receivers in the country.
I mean, that just dashes
Dante Love.
Dreams.
Look it up. You can find information on that story, dude. It's crazy. But yeah, Dante Love, he went to Ball State University.
Man, that sucks for him, man, because that's like their dreams, to become NFL players.
Yeah, Glenn, I haven't seen that. I haven't seen that tweet. I'll have to get on there and look here in a little bit. But yeah, no, it was crazy. But the game was a good football game. It was entertaining to watch. I'll tell you what, if that Bengals offensive line keeps improving, man, the Bengals are going to be a team right there as well. They got so many weapons on the offensive side of the ball.
Well, duh, they went to the Super Bowl last year. I mean,
yeah, but they were a surprise.
They were their darlings, right? They were their darlings last year, but now they're
their offensive line just hasn't been playing great, and
they went from darlings to contenders.
They finally kept Burrow upright, and if Burrow's upright, he's a problem. But when you're getting hit all the damn time and you can't even look downfield, it's hard to be a problem.
Right.
But that throw he hit Higgins down the sideline was nice. I mean, he made some nice throws last night, man.
Oh yeah, man. I mean, that boy came ready to play. And I mean, we all saw it, right? I mean, this was the Bengals team that no one expected to reach the Super Bowl a year ago, and they made it all the way to the Super Bowl. And I feel like Joe Burrow, when he's on his game, he's one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. I mean, we can easily say that about this man, and how good he is, and like you said, he has all the weapons at his disposal. I mean, they have T. Higgins out there at wide receiver. You have Jamar Chase, who's becoming a stud and one of the best receivers in the league. I mean, this Bengals team, man, yeah, they may have gotten off to a slow start, but I mean, when you look at what they have and the recipe for success, I mean, it's right there at their fingertips, and they just gotta execute each week. They just gotta make plays, and they'll be just fine. And they should be the team that come out of the AFC soft with no problems.
Damien, Mixon did look good last night. But I think that goes back to the offensive line playing a little bit better as well.
Yeah, Mixon looked great.
They ran the ball pretty good. The Bengals did have trouble running the ball in the red zone. Miami's defense done a good job down there in the red zone stopping the run. But other than that, Mixon had a good night. He couldn't punch it in the end zone, but he had a good night moving the ball down, helping move the ball down the field. Though. And that's big. If they get a run game going, you're in trouble because in play action and with all the weapons they have, you can be in big trouble if they get the run game going.
Yeah, because that opens more things up offensively for them, and that just creates more opportunities for them offensively.
Yeah, and then baseball. Let's talk a little Major League Baseball real quick. And then we'll get to some NFL picks before we get out of here. But you have just basically like 5 days left regular season, and then have a day off on Thursday when we start some playoff baseball on Friday. You have the Braves and the Mets playing this weekend still to see who's going to win that division. That's a big series that's going on this weekend in baseball, so it's going to be interesting to see how things shake up. But I'm looking forward to next weekend and some baseball playoff start.
Oh yeah, I'm always looking forward to October.
Judge is still looking for 62, right? He didn't get it tonight. I don't think.
No, he didn't get it tonight. He'll probably get it tomorrow. He'll get it before the weekend's out. I promise you. But he's definitely not getting 70 plus home runs.
Oh no. No, he's definitely not.
No. He kind of slowed down towards the end of the season, and I think that kind of gets to you mentally, right? That you know that you're chasing a record, and it kind of takes away the focus on what you really set out to accomplish. Because you're chasing an individual achievement, a personal achievement, and it kind of takes away from what your team is hoping to accomplish, And I think with that and everyone looking for him to hit home run number 61, I think that kind of compelled Judge to swing the bats more aggressively, and he got to the point where he was just trying too hard.
Yeah, I hope he gets the Triple Crown. That's what I'm hoping he gets more.
I hope so too.
More than anything, because I'll be honest with you, I know a lot of people don't like my stand on it. Is yeah, if he gets 62, he's getting the American League home run record, but the home run record is 73.
Yeah, the home run record is 73. He's not getting that, but he's definitely going to surpass Roger Morris' record of 60.
Yeah, I think he'll get at least one more. And I'm hoping he can hold on, that he can get his batting average up a little bit and get this Triple Crown, because he gets the Triple Crown. That's where that's historic, and it's also it's something you don't see very often. And so I'm hoping
that's also you forgot to mention the fact that that's also going to get him an enormous payday.
Well, he's going to get an enormous payday either way, whether he gets the Triple Crown.
But that really is going to validate.
He'll get him. I think what it'll do more.
Contract deal.
I think what it'll do more is it'll guarantee that he's the MVP.
Oh, no brainer. He got the MVP award anyway.
I don't know, dude. I wouldn't be. I'll tell you what. I'm telling you, if he don't get that Triple Crown, there's going to be some of these baseball writers are going to vote for Ohtani. Watch.
Or Alvarez, because he's had a pretty good year as well for the Astros.
Because think about it, they voted Ohtani last year, and Ohtani, I know his team isn't winning, but he had a better all around season this year.
He did. He had a better season than he did a year ago. Right. And I mean, he's just extraordinary. But usually
I think Aaron Judge should get it either way. Don't get me wrong. I think Aaron Judge is the MVP.
Because usually
if you don't get the Triple Crown, get the Triple Crown, I can see some of these baseball writers voting for Ohtani. I really can.
Yeah, I can too.
If they do, they shouldn't be allowed to vote. But because Judge should be the MVP.
Because of how special a player he is, and he did it on a very lousy Angels team that's not qualifying for the playoffs, which is impressive within itself. But usually, this MVP award goes to a player that plays on a team with a winning record. Usually,
yeah, most of the time, yeah.
And Aaron Judge plays on a Yankees team that has a winning record.
No one not only has a winning record, has a legitimate shot.
That already clinched the playoff berth and won the AL East division.
And they have a legitimate shot of making a deep playoff run. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And they can very well end up in the World Series this year with the way they have played.
Keenan Allen's going to be out for the Chargers again. Arch Manning breaks Eli and Peyton's high school records. So I'm sure he's having a good time with that, having bragging rights over his uncles. Especially when your uncles are Eli and Peyton, you can say that you had better high school numbers than they did.
Wow, than your own uncles. Wow, yeah. I'm sure as uncles, though, they're very proud of their nephews.
Oh yeah. And then Mac Jones is going to be out this weekend with an ankle.
Not good for the Patriots.
And there's quite a few players going to be out this weekend. Michael Thomas is out for the Saints. I think Winston's going to be out for the Saints as well. There's a few other bigger names I heard earlier today wasn't going to play. It does look like Shaquille Leonard's going to be back for the Colts on Sunday, so that's going to be nice.
That's a plus.
Oh yeah, I'm ready for the Colts game this Sunday. I think it's going to be a real good game. I think Colts are going to get their first back-to-back wins of the season and beat the Tennessee Titans. We need to. We have to. We can't afford to lose another division game. But speaking of that, let's take a look at some of these NFL games on Sunday. Well, actually, you want to talk some college football first and then do NFL? Any college football games you got your eye on for this weekend?
Fight on, baby. You know, I'm in Southern California. USC, Arizona State should be a blowout. Trojans.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to be it. But any other games besides that? I mean, I think quite a few games that could be pretty good this weekend.
Yeah, I think there's some intriguing matchups. What is your intriguing matchup? Let's hear from you.
NC State and Clemson, I think is going to be a fun one.
See, this is going to be a fun one.
Yep. I think that one could be good. I think Michigan and Iowa could be closer than what people think.
I think so
just
too.
Because of Iowa's defense.
I think so too.
Iowa's terrible. They're terrible offensively, but they're good. They're real strong.
They're pretty good defensively, so they can kind of keep the game close with their defense. Yeah.
So I think that game could be closer to what people think. There was another game, Kentucky, but now let me get it pulled up so I can make sure I say the right thing.
Kentucky looks good this year.
Texas Tech and Kansas State is another game I think is going to be a good one. Kansas State got a big win against Oklahoma last week, and then Texas Tech has looked good as well. I think that could be a fun game. Kentucky and Ole Miss. That's the game I think could end up being pretty interesting.
I like Kentucky.
See how Kentucky can match up with that Ole Miss team.
I like Kentucky to win that game.
Then Oklahoma State and Baylor, I think, is a good matchup. Wake Forest and Florida State's actually a game I'm looking forward to. 22 against 23. I think that game's going to be a real fun game to watch. I think Alabama and Arkansas could be closer than what people think as well.
You giving the Razorbacks a shot?
I don't know if they'll win it, but I think they have a shot of covering the 17.5 points.
Alabama hasn't looked all that great, though.
I think Arkansas has the spread's at 17.5 points. And I think Arkansas can cover that.
To me, looking at Alabama and how sluggish they can be, they are, to me, they're beatable.
I think NC State and Clemson. I think that's going to be a good one. So I mean, yeah, it's going to be should be some fun college football games tomorrow. Actually, the picks I gave out today for college football on my show were Michigan. I took Michigan minus the 10 points, Oklahoma minus 5.5, Texas Tech plus 7.5 points, Oklahoma State plus 2.5, and Indiana to beat Nebraska. Indiana plus 5.5 against Nebraska. So I got them covering the spread. But I also took, and then I done a underdog money line parlay up with Texas Tech at plus 230, Kentucky plus 210, NC State at plus 215, and Indiana at plus 176. That's just my underdog parlay for the college football. My picks this week so far have been 10-6. So I have a winning record so far this week, hoping the weekend will treat me right here and finish the week off strong.
Well, you're better at predicting these games than I am. So I think I'd be like 0-16 by the end of the season, 0-17.
And I gave out NFL picks too, but I'll talk about those here in a minute. But let's go ahead and do like we did last Friday. Let's go through these games real quick and
let's do it. I think the Vikings and the Saints are the early game, right? On Sunday, because they're playing in London.
I thought, yeah, they play at 9:30 in the morning.
Yeah,
Eastern time.
Oh yeah, 6:30. Oh, I'll be up because I'm an early bird, so I'll be up for that game. And it's on NFL Network, and it's also streaming on Paramount Plus.
Yeah, I might be up. I'm not gonna say I will be up because I'm probably not gonna get home till kind of late tomorrow night from this big wrestling show that we're live streaming. So I don't know how early I'll get up, how early I'll be up Sunday morning. Depends on what time we get in, and because when I get back tomorrow night, we'll have to get everything set back up because we're going live Sunday for the Colts game.
Right.
Yeah, Sunday morning you got the Vikings and the Saints in London. The Vikings are 3-point favorites in this game. I like the Vikings in this game. Saints are going to be missing Winston, going to be missing Thomas. Just too many injuries on the Saints side of the ball, or the Saints side of the field, I should say. So I like the Vikings in this game on Sunday morning.
I like the Vikings too, but keep in mind that Kirk Cousins is not quite prime time. He's not great in primetime games.
This ain't a night game, so he'll be okay.
Hey. hey, it's still a primetime game. No matter how you slice it,
game.
It's still a primetime game. I know it's not night, but
Then
it's
we
still
have
a primetime game.
the Tennessee
But yeah,
Titans.
like you said, the Saints are missing too many pieces. They're not going to have their starting quarterback. They're without Michael Thomas. I think the Vikings pull it together this week, come away with the win.
Glenn, you're probably right, bud. That's probably what will happen. You're probably exactly right. I'll get home tomorrow night, so I'll just set up in the morning. Then I probably won't roll out of bed till about 12:30, and then hurry up and get set up and be ready at 1. You know me too well, Glenn.
Glenn knows you, man. He knows you.
Yeah.
He knows you in person.
Hey, I got to see Glenn last Sunday. Actually, we actually got to talk in person last Sunday at a wrestling show. So,
man, I would like to talk to Glenn in person myself, man. Glenn seemed like a down to earth dude, a easygoing person. I like Glenn. I like Glenn, and I never even met him in person. I love you, Glenn.
Big sports
great
fan.
guy, man.
Big sports fan.
Oh, also, hell yeah. That's all of us, though, on this panel, man. That's myself. We're all big sports fans around here.
Titans at the Colts. Colts are 3.5-point favorites at home. You know who I'm going with in this game. Who you got?
Man, I know you're a homer, and I know you're gonna stick by your Colts, man. I mean, this is a huge AFC South game right here, man. The winner of this game ends up likely getting a little bit of a leg up on the Jaguars. Assuming that the Eagles can take care of business against the Jaguars, because this is a real test for the Jacksonville Jaguars, having to play against the Eagles. Now the Jaguars have looked like the darlings of the NFL season prematurely, but to me, Indy has the better overall roster team. I think they'll take care of business in this game and get it done.
There you go. Welcome to the good side.
Welcome to the good side, huh?
Next game is
I could go on the bad side now and say the Titans can't get a ton of interior pressure with Jeffrey Simmons, and that could easily pose some problems and disrupt Matt Ryan, who has looked like a confused veteran quarterback.
Whoa! No, he hasn't. He's played pretty good. Other than one game.
Don't give me that. He's all right. I mean, he's not all that. He's decent.
What a fourth quarter game winning drive last week against the Chiefs, but he's been terrible.
Yeah, I didn't say terrible. I said decent.
He's been better, a little better than decent. But anyway, you got the Bears at the Giants. Giants are 3-point favorites at home. Who you got? I'm sorry, Damien. I'm going with the New York Giants. I think the Giants get the win. I like what Dayball has going on over there. Giants didn't look bad on Monday Night Football against the Cowboys. They were in that game until late in the fourth quarter. I think this Giants defense is going to give the Bears offense some trouble. So I like the Giants in this game.
The Bears are an improbable 2-1 to start this season, but you can't forget how well Daniel Jones played on Monday night. I mean, he played his best game. He played his best game as a pro against the Dallas Cowboys of all teams. And the Dallas Cowboys, they put so much pressure on him. They made his night tough. You know, they were able to pressure him 26 times on 36 dropbacks. You know, that's an insane number. You know, so I like the Giants in this game, and if Saquon Barkley can run the ball successfully as he did on Monday night, I think this Giants team can come away with the win. Now, I know what the Bears have on their side as well. They have Roquan Smith, who is an absolute beast right now with 27 tackles in his last 2 weeks. He's definitely a difference maker. He definitely can put some pressure on the quarterback. So this might be a tough outing for Daniel Jones, but I like Daniel Jones' ability to run and elude the pressure and find a way to extend plays and make something happen on offense. So I'm going to go with the Giants here.
Okay, we both with the Giants on that game. Next game is the Buffalo Bills at the Baltimore Ravens. The Bills are 3-point favorites on the road. Who you got in this game?
Oh, this is gonna be
I'll let you go. I'll let you go first this time.
Yeah, you know what? This is gonna be a very interesting game. You're talking about Josh Allen versus Lamar Jackson, and Lamar Jackson has been impressive this season. I mean, he's playing for some big bucks here, man. This is a guy who's making it real clear that it's about time that you offer me a big paycheck. It's about that time because I'm showing up week in and week out.
They offered him a big paycheck. They just didn't give him enough guarantee. They
didn't give him enough guarantee, but maybe they will now. Maybe they'll reconsider.
Yeah, we'll see.
They'll actually pay him because he is showing out. I mean, Lamar Jackson is showing out, man, and I wouldn't be surprised if the Ravens upset the Bills. But you know what? I have a hard time really seeing that happening because I don't see the Bills losing consecutive games. I don't see the Bills dropping 2 in a row. I know the Bills and the Ravens have had defensive issues. It's going to be tough for the Bills now without Micah Hyde in the secondary now. It's gonna be a different, but these two teams are the most explosive teams in football. No question about it. Both of these teams have been criticized for accuracy and passing skills coming into the 2018 draft, but these two quarterbacks have proved people wrong. Josh Allen, he's special. I mean, he's just dynamic, he's a different breed. He stands out from all the rest. And then you got Lamar Jackson, who has, emerged into this dominant force for his team offensively. And these were people who questioned his accuracy, who said that, he wasn't good enough to play the quarterback position. Who questioned his ability to throw the ball down the field. And what has he done? He has proved people wrong. So, I mean, I'm going to have to go with the Bills here because the Bills have some lethal quick score options. They have Josh Allen leading that offense. You have Stephon Diggs, who is playing out of this world right now. So I'm going to have to go with the Bills.
Yeah, I like the Bills in this game as well. The Bills lost. Yes, they lost to the Dolphins that game last week. But if you look at that game, the Bills outplayed the Dolphins the whole game, just couldn't score points. But they moved the ball up and down the field. Josh Allen had another good game. So I like the Bills in this game. I think picking up Xavier Rhodes is going to help the Bills defense a lot. Get you a veteran back there to help fill in.
He's a great defensive back there. Yeah. So he fills a lot of holes back there.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So I think that's going to help. So I like the Bills as well. Chargers at the Texans. Chargers got their butts whipped by the Jaguars last time out. I think usually after a team that happens to a team, they come out and look like a totally different team the next game after a team gets embarrassed like that. I think the Chargers are going to probably put it on the Texans pretty good this Sunday.
Yeah, Justin Herbert has remained a bit of a question mark, but I think he'll be fine. Every quarterback goes through adversity. Is how you respond, and I think he will respond. I think he'll have a better game.
Well, he played that game hurt too. I mean, it wasn't like he was healthy.
Yeah, he was banged up in that game. So yeah, I think there's I I think there's a chance that the Chargers will bounce back in this game, and they should beat the Texans. They really should beat the Texans with all that they have on defense and everything they have on offense. Losing to the Texans is inexcusable. So I gotta go with the Chargers here.
Seahawks at the Lions.
Ooh,
I'm going with the Detroit Lions here to get the win at home.
you went with the Detroit Lions last week too, didn't you?
Yep.
Ooh, that's a good matchup. The Lions are a fun team to me. They're a very fun team. They're well coached. Dan Campbell, man, they buy into his system. They really love playing for the guy. He brings a lot of energy to that locker room. He's a fiery guy. I love his demeanor, and I think his team has taken on his personality. But there are a lot of injuries on the offense. I mean, you don't have DeAndre Swift. You're missing my boy St. Brown. He's out as well. And a lot of people are comparing him to Megatron. I mean, that's just how great he's been offensively. But the defense is capable of holding it down. We could look back at this game and see the Lions pulling it away. I think the Lions win 27-24.
Okay. Next game, the New York Jets at the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm going with the Steelers in this game over the Jets.
And why do you like the Steelers?
I like their defense a lot better than I like the Jets' defense for one.
Yeah,
and I'm more confident in Mitchell Trubisky than I am Zach Wilson.
Okay. Yeah, I understand. The Steelers are not that great offensively. We all know that. They're not that great on offense. They don't have a Tom Brady as a quarterback, or they don't have one of those big name quarterbacks that you can rely on week in and week out. But what they do have is a pretty good defense. And the Jets have a really, really bad offense. So I got to go with the Steelers here. There's a chance this becomes the Kenny Pickett game.
I don't think so.
You don't think so? I think at some point Mike Tomlin might experiment and see what he has in Kenny Pickett, and he might put him in the game. I don't know how much longer he plans to roll with Mitchell Trubisky, but right about now, I think he has trust in Mitchell Trubisky, and I think he'll stay with him as quarterback. I'm taking the Steelers, but by no means am I really confident in this Steelers team, only because their offense is a hit or miss.
I'm confident in the Steelers team. I'm
confident in their defense, but their offense is a hit or miss
against the Jets. I don't see the Jets being able to do much.
Yeah, you're right. It's against the sorry ass Jets. So yeah, you're right.
Then we have Jaguars at the Eagles. I'm going to go with the unpopular pick here. I'm going with the Jacksonville Jaguars to pull the upset. In Philly against the Philadelphia Eagles?
I mean, this is a team that the Eagles are a team that's favored to win. A lot of people think this should be the team to come out of the NFC this year. I mean, a lot of people have hyped up this Eagles team, but this Jaguars team, man, you look at how they're playing right now. I think Doug Peterson gets a lot of credit for that, for the way this team has played. He has, done really well with this team. He has turned the young quarterback who looks like Sunshine from the movie Remember the Titans. He has turned that quarterback into a quarterback who actually now looks like a number one draft pick. it's amazing to see how fast this team has turned things around, because a year ago this team was an utter disaster and it was a complete mess, and now the Jaguars suddenly are the darlings of this year. So I mean, and for Doug Peterson, this is a revenge game, you know. But I like that Eagles secondary, though. I like what Darius Slay is doing in that secondary. I mean, you know, this is a ball hawking defender, man. He can force turnovers with his play. He reads the field exceptionally well. Sometimes he can kind of decipher the play before it happens, which is amazing with Darius Slay. But you know, I'm gonna have to ride with the Eagles here, because the Eagles to me are just simply very good, and their defense can lock people down late when it's clicking. So I'm gonna go with the Eagles 27. I'll say 27-24.
All right. Next game is the Browns at the Falcons. Before we get in that real quick, Cheddarhead says, "Yo, should I start DK or Samuel?" See, DK's going against the Lions. Who is Samuel going against? I think I'd probably go with DK.
I'm going with DK too. DK Metcalf all day.
But in the Browns game, Browns and the Falcons, I like the Cleveland Browns in this game. With the Jacoby Brissett's not been playing bad, and they got their two-headed monster running game. I just think they're the better in their defense. They got a good defense. I think they're just a better football team than Atlanta. I like the Cleveland Browns.
This will be an interesting test game against a 2-1 Browns team for the Falcons. You know, let's see how they do. You know, the Browns have Jacoby Brissett as their quarterback. I don't know. Cleveland's defense to me has been lacking. And I mean, it's just hard to imagine them turning around, especially without Myles Garrett. I don't think he's playing on Sunday, is he?
I'm not sure if he's playing or not, but their defense has played pretty good.
I don't know. I think Atlanta gets a steal in this game. I think Atlanta steals this game from the Browns.
Okay.
And I think it's going to be very close. I will say 17-14.
Quick, before we move on to the next game, quick update. UCLA is up 26-10 over number 15 Washington with about 2 minutes left in the second quarter.
UCLA, man, they're going to have a good year. It's looking that way. I think Chip Kelly might have saved his job.
Well, and then
because to me,
UCLA just scored a field goal, but then first play of the drive for Washington, he just threw interceptions. Now UCLA's gonna have a chance to score again before halftime.
I'll tell you this: when UCLA play USC, it's gonna be a fun game. The rivalry will be renewed.
Next game in the NFL, the Washington Commanders at the Dallas Cowboys. Who you going with?
Man, I think I might have to go with the Cowboys here. I like the Cowboys. The Cowboys looked really, really good last week. They looked good on Monday night against the Giants. They're 2-1 despite rolling out Cooper Rush at the quarterback position. And to me, Cooper Rush has looked really good. I mean, he has held this offense steady. You know, and I mean, if you can hang on with him as the quarterback until Dak Prescott returns healthy, then you're in business. Your team is in business. But I mean, the Cowboys, man, their defense was a big problem for Daniel Jones and the Giants, and that could be the case for Carson Wentz as well. You know, And this is a guy who likes to throw the ball down the field. And I think if the Cowboys are able to hurry him, rush him, and put pressure on him, it's going to be a tough afternoon for Carson Wentz. So I got to go with Dallas Cowboys because I like the way their defense is playing. And they have one of the best fearsome pass rushes in the league.
Cooper almost. Damien says he don't trust Rush or Wentz, but he's going with Dallas. I'm going to go with the Cowboys here, and the only reason is basically because of one player, and that's Micah Parsons.
Yeah,
I think he's going to cause some trouble for Washington's offense.
Yep, he terrorizes quarterbacks.
So I'm going to go with the Cowboys. But I think this could be a real close game because neither offense has looked real great over the last, actually the whole year. So the Commanders have had some good. They had one good game where they put up some points, but I see this probably being another low scoring game. Really, I do. Cardinals at Panthers. I'm going to go with the Arizona Cardinals over the Panthers because I just don't trust I don't trust Baker and the Panthers.
Yeah, I don't trust Baker Mayfield either. Baker Mayfield turned over the ball a lot. He's a turnover machine. He throws into double coverage a lot. He makes dangerous throws down the field, and he doesn't always make smart decisions with the football. So I'm gonna have to roll with Kyler Murray and the Cardinals here. I think the Cardinals offense is gonna get it done against a Panthers defense that has a lot of speed to contain and chase down Kyler Murray, but I think Kyler Murray will figure out a way to counter the defense and to get the job done for the Cardinals. And I honestly think Matt Rule is on the hot seat.
Well, I don't know, but Denver Broncos at the Raiders.
Denver Broncos at the Raiders? You mean the Donkeys? That's what Raider fans call them, by the way. The Raiders, man, are a desperate team right about now because they fell to 0-3 in the NFL, and to me, they're the most disappointing early season team. I mean, there's no question about it. But Russell Wilson and the Denver Broncos haven't looked good as well. They have struggled badly on deep passes, and I'm not sure Nathaniel Hackett knows what he's doing. I mean, they simply don't seem like they're on the same page, both him and Wilson. And for this to be his first coaching job in NFL, he surely hasn't done a good job to put his team in position to win games. Hackett's in-game decisions makes him obviously incompetent. And you know, I mean, it's just been a bad start for him in his early coaching career. Like I always say, Hackett was hired to begin with because they thought they was really getting Aaron Rodgers in a trade, and that's why he was brought over there to Denver. But I think the Raiders in that 0-3 start, I think they get in. I think they finally crack the wins column, and I think they will beat Denver because Denver just looks like a total mess right now. The offense has been out of sync. I don't think they have great communication right now. I think there's a lack of communication on that team, and I think that team is just unorganized right now. So I'm going to have to roll with the Raiders here. I think they finally get it done. I think the Raiders are sick and tired of being sick and tired.
I like the Broncos here. I think Broncos have one of the best, if not the best, defense in the NFL right now. The offense, the Denver offense is going to keep getting better each week as Nathaniel Hackett and Russell Wilson get used to each other. I think this Denver team is going to be a real good team, and I like the Broncos, man. The Broncos defense is great, and if you watched the last game in that fourth quarter, you started to actually see more of the old Russell Wilson starting to come out. I think the offense is going to keep getting better. Everybody wants to say how bad Nathaniel Hackett is. They're 2-1. And could have won the game that they lost. So I mean, there's been some coaching problems. There has been some communication problems, but they're still winning games. And as the season goes on, I think that stuff's going to get better because they're going to get used to each other more. So, but yeah, I like the Broncos over the Raiders here. The Raiders have looked a mess to me. Even more of a mess than what the Broncos have, if you be honest with you, with McDaniels. I
Josh McDaniels is not
here, and a lot of it is because of their defense. So
right, and Josh McDaniels is showing once more that he's not coaching material. He's not. I mean, I think he's a one and done coach. I honestly do. I think he's going to get fired by the time the season's over with. You know, I don't think he's going to hold on to his job much longer because I think he's clueless, and I don't really think he has an idea of what he's doing. But I'm going to go with the Raiders here, and I think Devontae Adams needs a signature performance.
We have the New England Patriots at the Green Bay Packers. I like Green Bay here. I was going to like Green Bay in this game even if Mac Jones was playing. But without no Mac Jones and Brian Hoyer starting for the Patriots, I definitely like Green Bay. So I like Green Bay here. I just don't think the Patriots are going to. Green Bay has a pretty good defense. Their offense is starting to come around a little bit, starting to look a little bit more in rhythm. Mm-hmm. I just think Green Bay is going to be too much for the Patriots.
Yeah, well, you know, the Patriots simply aren't very good right now. Mac Jones is day-to-day, according to Bill Belichick. You know, Bill Belichick doesn't reveal much information on his players. We all know that. You know, but, I mean, I think Aaron Rodgers, man, I think he's going to put on a big show. Hopefully his young receivers can actually catch the footballs. I mean, because that's been a big problem, right, to start the season. They've been dropping a lot of footballs. But I like the Packers in this game. I think their offense will start to get rolling, and their defense will play outstanding football. So I'm going to go with the Packers here.
Then we have the Kansas City Chiefs at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Sunday Night Football. Who you rolling with?
Oh, that's going to be a good game. I mean, hey, NBC couldn't have done it any better, right? Mike Evans is back from his suspension. Tom Brady is in prime time at home, and the Bucs defense should be still be able to give Mahomes some trouble. So I mean, this is tough for me. This is tough because the Chiefs are favorites here. You know, they have heavy expectations coming into this game. You know, the game has been moved to the site too, right?
No, they're playing in Tampa. Sportsbooks have this game.
Are?
Yep, sportsbooks have this game as pick 'em.
Okay, so they ended up moving the game back to Tampa.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's gonna be at Tampa.
Okay. So I mean, I think I have to give the slight edge to Tampa because they're getting guys back. Tom Brady is Tom Brady, the GOAT. And I think they win by a touchdown. I think this game will be very close. I think Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes will trade haymakers in this game. I think it will go down to the finish. I think the final score here will be, let's see, 34-31. I think it will be a very high-scoring game.
Yeah, I like the Bucs here. I like the Bucs because I think they have a better defense than the Chiefs for one. And then you also Tom Brady's getting some of his weapons back as you're getting Chris Godwin's going to be back. Evans is back. Julio Jones is questionable, but we'll see what happens with him. But getting Evans and Godwin back in there is going to be big. I think that offense will look a little bit better, but I'm really betting on this on the Bucs defense. That's why I think it's going to be the difference in this game. And then the last game of the night, for Sunday night, or it will actually be Monday, so I guess it ain't the last game of the night. But Monday Night Football, you got the Rams and the 49ers. I think this is going to be another good game as well. But I'm going to go with the Rams in this game, and mainly because the 49ers not having Trent Williams scares the death out of me. Going up against that Rams defensive line. If you watch the 49ers last game, once Trent Williams got hurt and went out, they looked like a totally different offense. They couldn't protect. And now you're going to go against a strong defensive line with the Rams. So for that reason, I'm going with the Los Angeles Rams in this game.
Yeah, Trent Williams' absence really opens the door for the Rams here. I like the Rams' chances in this game. I think they will win. Their offense really got going against Arizona last week. So I think this will be a tough, a much tougher defensive test for the 49ers. But, the Rams will have to face Jimmy G, who hasn't looked great since taking over for Trey Lance. He's done enough, to carry the offense. But we all know how Kyle Shanahan's history of dominating LA has been much of a concern for the Rams, right? But yeah, I got to go with the Rams here. I think they have enough firepower. I think if Matthew Stafford can do a great job taking care of the football, I think the Rams will just be fine and win the game.
All right. That's all. I think the Rams are going to win that one as well. That's all the NFL games. Real quick before we do get out of here, for anybody that missed Easy Money, the sports betting show this afternoon, I'll give out my NFL picks I gave out. I'd like the Vikings -3, the Colts at -3.5, the New York Giants at -3, and the Cleveland Browns at -1.5 were my 4 picks I gave out today on the sports betting show. And then I also put together a money line, underdog money line parlay. 3 teams are all underdogs. Jacksonville +235, Broncos +120, and the Rams at +104. So that was my underdog money line parlay for the NFL for this Sunday's games. But Judge, you got any final thoughts before we get out of here for tonight, brother?
Man, my man Coolio. We talked about this on Wednesday though, didn't we?
Yes.
Yeah. Rest in peace, brother, man. That was my childhood right there. I grew up listening to Coolio. Fantastic Voyage and Gangster's Paradise, man. It's a tough loss. The hip hop community is mourning his loss. And, just my thoughts and prayers to his family in these difficult times. And man, we really got to prioritize player safety. I think that's a big one for me as well before we wrap the show up. You really got to prioritize player safety. And I just want to say to everyone out there for watching, thank you guys so much. Have a great weekend. Please be safe out there. There's a lot of reckless people out here. Just be careful and be safe, and don't drink and drive. Enjoy yourselves and drink responsibly, and just be safe and have a lot of fun if you guys can. Life is too short, so we gotta cherish every moment while we're still here. Those are my final thoughts, man. And naturally dope. This was a naturally dope show.
Oh, yeah. And then I got a couple things real quick before we get out of here. Big show tomorrow, Saturday night, 7 p.m. Eastern. Got a big wrestling show. I'm going to be live streaming DCCW Cornfield Carnage live in Portland, Indiana. It's Jay County Fairgrounds. Featuring WWE Hall of Famer, WWE Hardcore Legend. Mick Foley will be in the house, be in attendance. Be doing meet and greets and all that good stuff. And you never know what Foley's going to do once he's in the building. And then also in action, WWE legend, the Boogeyman is going to be in action. You can watch this show live. If you're not in the Indiana area and can't be there, you can watch this show live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch at Gonzo Sports Room, and live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch at the All Sports All Plays Network, 7 p.m. Eastern. Saturday, October 1st. That's tomorrow night. Come, if you're a pro wrestling fan, come join us for a big night of wrestling. Sunday, 1 p.m. Eastern. Oh, well, real quick, back to the wrestling show Saturday. If you're around the Indiana area or you want to come to the show, general admission tickets are $15, but tomorrow they'll go up. So actually, now the general admission tickets are $20. Second and third row will be $30 now because everything's $5 more day of the show. But come out, should be a great show. Then on Sunday, 1 p.m. Eastern, we'll be doing a live watch along in reaction to the Colts and Tennessee game. So if you're a Colts fan, or even if you're a Titans fan and you just want to watch some football and talk some football at the same time, come join us Sunday, 1 p.m. Eastern. That'll be live on the All Sports All Plays Network and on the Gonzo Sports Room Network. So come join us for those big shows this weekend. Please hit that subscribe button on the YouTube channel at Gonzo Sports Room, at the Sports Judge, and at the All Sports All Plays Network. Follow us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, at Gonzo Sports Room, also at the All Sports All Plays Network, where we post all of our information about all the different shows that are going on. I want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. On behalf of the Judge, myself, Chris Gonzo Gonzalez, we will see you guys Monday night at 11 p.m. for another episode of Gonzo and the Judge Sports Talk. Have a great weekend. Stay safe.
Have a great weekend, everyone.
All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making the plays. We talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. Hitting the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays.